Yeah, so from here, we are going to move on to the Red Stars side of the final night of this tournament. Again, I didn't realize it was all blue and then all red, but when I saw that, I'm like, oh, interesting.
That
But
makes sense.
again, it's to tell a certain story. You want to tell the Blue Stars story, then you're going to tell the Red Stars story, and then you're going to give us the finals. But we did get Mel went away. I hit the wrong button. I'm not good at this. I'm really not. Momo Kohgo taking on Unagi Sayaka. And Sayaka was, again, Unagi was the big surprise for me in this tournament. And the fact that on the final night has only won one match.
And
then
look at the attitude she's been having for it, too.
Yeah. And then Momo Kohgo with 4, again, very young in her career. She's in that position where, and both these girls in that position where somebody has to take the losses in a tournament like this. And it is these two, Momo being very young, Unagi Sayaka. I have no idea why she's taking these losses, but I think she should have been far more featured in this tournament. But all that altogether said, I thought I really quite had a good time with this match. Again, I'm a big fan of Unagi Sayaka, and Momo Kohgo from night 1 of this tournament really impressed me. Like, I love her style, the 619, the springboard drop kick. I love her. I just really do. Then Unagi Sayaka with her very wild style. I very much like that in the fact that she does like the jumping leg drop, just some wild style of moving. I quite like it. Unagi did hit the Jeff Jarrett special, the stroke, and then followed it by a kick to the head, and then a DDT, but only got a 2 count out of it. Like, just some of the moves these girls were doing, it's just crazy. But in the end, it was Unagi Sayaka with a butterfly. Like, she had her in a, like, one arm had the butterfly, like had the arms butterflied, and then hooked her leg and picked her up and brought her down with a driver. So it was like a butterfly fisherman's driver, I want to call it. I don't actually know what it's called, but it was a very interesting move in the way that it was applied and executed. And Unagi Sayaka getting 4 points, going up to 4 points. But I did read that she made an announcement that she is leaving Stardom because of her poor the reason she's given is because of such a poor performance in this 5-star Grand Prix. She is leaving Stardom to move on and be a freelancer and work at other companies.
Hey, I mean, that could be very, very good for her. As I'd mentioned in past videos, I'm very much a fan of her in-ring ability, but I didn't feel that her attitude really fit well with the Cosmic Angel faction. So, that's interesting, because with Mina talking about wanting to take over the Cosmic Angels, and then Sayaka being kind of like her main kind of bestie in that, this would be interesting. I personally think that Unagi has nothing but things to gain by traveling and getting experience elsewhere. So good luck to her. I hope it works out, and I hope we see her a little bit more in all these other places.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like where she goes. I'm looking forward to following her wherever she goes, because I after watching all this tournament start, I really want to start diving into more of the Joshi Pro companies in Japan. Like, I already watched New Japan, I watched some Noah, I catch a little bit of All Japan when I can, but like, again, Stardom's the only women's company I've watched, so I like to look at some Tokyo Joshi Pro, see some other stuff, and see some Wave. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I have special interest in wanting to see Noah, because my favorite Bread Club leader ended up at holding titles there. I don't suspect he's going to be coming back to me anytime soon in New Japan. So, yeah. Like you said, I think that she has nothing but positivity to gain from that. So I definitely hope that we see her a little bit more popping up. And hey, maybe she could also do a North American tour and pop up in AEW.
It's very, very possible. And maybe even an Impact or an MLW too. Like, it's very possible. But we are going to move on to the next match in the Red Stars block. It is Azumi taking on Saki Kashima. And especially in this block, 14 points. You have, I think, going into the night, I want to open up a thing I didn't bring up in the last show we did. There it is. I think you had 6 people at 14 points. So in this show, you really have to look at who, like, there's a lot of parts of tiebreakers are involved very much in this one. You really have to see, where the heck is that picture? I hate you. Oh, it's in that one. Okay. Where was it? I'm not going to pull it up on the screen because it's then I have to load it in, and it's just a big old pain in the butt for me to do this. But like at the end of the Red Stars night, it was on the final of the tournament nights. You had Utami Hayashishita with 14, Azumi with 14, Tom Nakano with 14, Maika with 14, Himeka with 14, Suri with 14, and Risa Sera was 13. Now, the Risa Sera one at 13, unless there was, I think there was a 14 versus 14 match, so no matter what, Risa Sera couldn't, I think, get the actual victory in this. But man, when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people and a potential 7th who is right there with them, being in line to win this, is all this block especially came down to the tiebreakers. It was all about who, if the multiple people end up at certain places, it would have been the tiebreakers, and it would have been just a crazy way to figure it all out. But it didn't come down that way because, this match happened, and
it did.
It was really fast. It wasn't even a minute. Zumi had, like, the gear she was wearing, it had glowing green on it. I loved it. But Saki wants a handshake, and then Azumi got her in a crucifix, but then Kashima flipped it into a roll up, and then was it Kashima got it into a crucifix of her after they were scrambling around trying to get pins on each other. Kashima got a crucifix and pinned Azumi in less than a minute.
Yeah.
This was, again, this is very much the Zack Sabre Jr. and Naito match from one of the final nights of the G1. It breaks up the monotony of it too, and it's like this quick, out of nowhere. And I think this win benefits Saki Kashima so much.
Oh yeah,
because she got a win over, for one, the high speed champion. So, in my opinion, she should get a shot at that belt. And 2, she looked impressive doing it so quickly.
Especially over her tournament has really kind of gone. She is setting at 10 points, but she did take some pretty big losses as well. That being said, I mean, Azumi is one of my favorites. This match hurt me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but you're absolutely right. It was something that actually it broke up the rest of the night. It still made Azumi look hella strong coming out of it. She's still the champion, sitting at 14 points. But you're right. It does kind of set up Kashima for an opportunity at the title, as well as anybody else who did get a win over Azumi. They do like in Stardom, as opposed to New Japan. They do like their fatal 4-ways, their triple threats, their those kinds of matches. So I wouldn't be objective to seeing another triple threat or a fatal 4-way for the high speed title. And I would love to see it with Thekla getting back into the ring.
She should be coming back in the next little bit too. So again, she got pulled out due to injury for the tournament, but it's been a couple months, so I think she has a shot at returning in the next little bit, unless it was a more major injury. I didn't think it was too big of an injury, but enough she couldn't work the tournament. But I don't think it's a major, going to keep her out for a year injury. So
I have been
Yeah.
snooping her Twitter. I have been noticing she's posting a little bit more pictures with her DDM faction members. So here's hoping she's back in Japan and training and feeling better and ready to come back to us and perform for us.